Hi everyone! Welcome to our very first Ambassadors
Ambassadors
TV,
TV.
where we'll be first introducing you to the Global Ambassadors Program for 2025. I'm Aisha and I'll be your host for today.
I'm Filza and I am the co-lead for the Global Ambassadors program for this year.
So, today, before we go into the topic that we'll be touching on, which is what makes you uniquely you, we'll first be sharing with you what Global Ambassadors Program is all about. So, Filza, as the project lead, do you want to take this up?
Yep. All right. So first of all, the Global Ambassadors program is a student community aimed to reflect Maybank's employee value proposition, our culture, our value. So this is done by empowering the students to lead and manage impactful community initiatives such as blood drive donations, raising awareness on social causes, fundraising, and also on passion and interest lah. So from these initiatives, the students will be upskilled and they will learn a new set of skills such as leadership, teamwork, communication, ideation, execution, and so forth, so forth.
Oh, okay, that's so interesting. So this means that the students who join the ambassador program, they will be able to be curating whatever they want to do based on their interests, right?
Yep, based on their interest, their passion. If they're concerned about a certain issue, also they'll be able to curate project around those ideas lah.
Oh, super interesting. I think it'll be more interesting once we go into what makes you uniquely you, because
Yeah.
Filza has a very interesting story
Mm.
for that one. But before that, there's an emphasis on global ambassador program. So what
Mhm.
does the global stand for? Do they get to go abroad, or how does the global come into play?
Okay, so the Global Ambassadors Program means that the students will be able to network with other ambassadors internationally. So we are currently active in 5 countries, including Malaysia. So we have Singapore, Cambodia, Indonesia, and we're embarking into Philippines this year. So the students will get international networking collaboration opportunities. So they will get to communicate with ambassadors from different countries, therefore strengthen their communication skills, their English, how do they network people from different culture, basically that. So in going into the workforce and moving into the future, they will have that strong connections, not just in their region, but also globally.
Ooh, oh my god, I love that for them. I think as a university student, you always try to look for opportunities. So I
Mm-mm.
think this is one of the opportunities that is going to be super interesting because you actually get to connect with people globally, which is not something that you can get in all
Mm-hmm.
the clubs that you join just in universities especially. So speaking of that, it sounds like a very huge responsibility for the students. Can you maybe share with us how long this program will be and what the students are expected to do maybe? Because it sounds
Mm-hmm.
like something quite huge because it's quite hard as a student maybe to juggle between the responsibilities that they already have and maybe this ambassador program. So maybe how can they manage between these two and how long is the program? What's the commitment like?
Okay, so the program will be running throughout a year. So right now we are into recruitment where we are finding ambassadors. So you can apply online, and I will have the onboarding in March, and then we will have graduation around November to December. So throughout the years, the students will be able to ideate, manage, and curate their own projects. So these are all up to the ambassadors team on their timeline, on their work schedule, on their study schedule. So if you're more free in June, for example, then you'll plan your event to be in June. So it's all up to the ambassador. So it's a free flow. You can choose your own timing kind of thing. So of course, time management is an important skill to learn. It's something that you will have to manage because you're now juggling something outside of your academics as well. So we also have signature programs throughout the year, which will be a surprise to the ambassadors later. So these programs are something fun, something that will reflect their passion, their interest, and empower them, lah, basically.
Oh, okay, interesting, interesting. Also, I was a bit curious. This is a bit like outside of ambassadors, but how does Maybank come into play for this global ambassadors? Maybe how does Maybank help them grow, or how does Maybank as a whole just come into this program to help the students?
Okay, so Maybank, I think a lot of people, obviously, everyone knows Maybank as a bank, but we're more than that. Even our our slogan is humanizing financial services. So I think coming from the HR, we want to reflect our employee value proposition. So we have this thing called Go Ahead. Currently, that's our EVP, but it will change in the future, perhaps. Okay, so we have Go Ahead Lead, Go Ahead Create, where we empower our employees to go and reach for new challenges, for new stuff, empower your own passion, and things like that. So we want that to not be only reflected internally, but also externally. So the public will know, oh, this is how Maybank works like, this is how they value their employees, how they treat their staff and things like that. So it's all about growth. It's even in like our, what do you call that? Our core values, Tiger,
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
TIGER.
Yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
the G stands for growth, and I think that's one of the important points that I wanna send using this ambassador platform lah.
Oh, okay. I love that. So, before we go any further, let's go straight into the topic today, which is what makes you uniquely you, and how this can be fostered throughout the program. Because mentioned a lot about growth. So I think maybe before we go into this topic, maybe let's just share a little bit about you and get to know a little bit more about you, the curator of all of these projects and the whole ambassador program for this year. So, for you, what do you think? What makes you uniquely you?
Oof, I think this is where it gets a bit personal.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, I think being unique is a very crucial thing in this era.